Hi, my name is Laura, and my husband and I, Dale, we are the developers of a unique product called Tumbling Key Signatures, which are these two nice little dice here in the lovely colors. These dice are fun, they're fast, it's a 5-minute hands-on reinforcement teaching tool. They're made of 3-inch EVA firm foam with rounded corners, and they're imprinted on them with the sharp key signatures as well as the flat key signatures. These I've used many years with prototypes in my group and private lessons, and the kids just love them, primarily because they're so hands-on and because they're colorful. There's a unique purpose to these dice. The unique purpose is to promote instant recognition without the aids of lines and spaces. So, how do we use these dice? Let me demonstrate. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is call your attention to the board. When I begin teaching my key signatures, I have the students learn the order of sharps. I start with the hardest first, the sharps. They learn the order of sharps. Fat cats go down alleys eating birds. At that point, then I have them write the entire order. So they'll do fat cats go down alleys eating birds. And I have them do it numerous times so that they can do it really fast. They usually have races, of course, if there's more than one child in the lesson. At that point, we name the key signature, and I go, okay, how do you name that key? And they've had this with, flashcard key signatures also. And so they'll go, well, that's the key of C sharp. And then at that point, I erase one and go, okay, now what key is it? They name it, I erase them, and so on and so on. Then at one point, I'll go, okay, let's name it by saying fat cats go down alleys, and I'll say, what's the next letter of the alphabet? And they'll say, well, that's B. Okay, and that's awesome. So then they get it. At that point, I give them the dice. The first question they'll say, there's no lines or spaces on there. And I go, that's right. Okay, so let's use your order of sharps. Fat cats go down alleys eating. And I go, what's the next letter of the alphabet? And they'll think a minute and they'll go, that's an F. And I said, remember, back here there was an F sharp, so this is the key of F sharp. Then they'll start rolling the dice or kicking the dice and have great fun, whatever comes up, where their thumb lands. I go, okay, what's the key? It doesn't matter if they turn up this way or turn up this way. They just go, fat cats go down. Oh, next letter of the alphabet, key of E, and so on. At that point, once they've done the sharps and they have great fun with that, they'll go, well, let's do these. We want to learn how to do these. And I'm like, okay, those are the flats. So at that point, we learn the flats, which all teachers know it's this backwards. So we do B, E, A, D, G, C, F, and then I do the same thing, erasing one at a time. Of course, the rule with this one, second last flat, that's your key. They learn that pretty quickly, and so on. And at that point, we transfer to the ones with no lines or spaces. So what these dice do, what I have found over the years, it promotes the instant recognition of these keys without having to think, okay, what's the name of that line? Or what's the name of this line? And so on and so on. It gets away from using the lines and spaces, and it becomes a much faster, quick recognition. Now there's other uses of these dice. Okay, you can roll the dice one day and go, okay, we're going to play the scale in this key. And they have to name that key, and then they're going to play that scale. Of course, depending on the age of the student, you can make them do it 1 octave, 2 octaves, 3 octaves. You can roll the dice and go, okay, now tell me the name of the minor key. So of course you can learn how to do the minor keys with these. Roll the dice. Okay, this day we're going to use the 1, 4, 5, 7, 1 progression. Let's go to the piano and play that. I've also had the students fill in the circle of fifths, where we have the circle of fifths on the board, and they have learned, of course, what this is. As prior to that, we've done it before. You roll the dice, say we start with sharps, and then you have 3 sharps, and I go, okay, where does that fit? on my circle of fifths, and then they have to remember how to figure it out with the circle fifths. You can do improvisation. There's so many things you can do with these dice. Like I said before, I've done this in private lesson. I've done it in group lessons. In the private lesson, it's great. You just have the students sit there and toss it and catch it, and then they'll tell you the key. And it's such a quick, fast reinforcement of these key signatures. So I hope you like my little demonstration, and I hope you will just run right out there and get a set of your own.